Commentary for the French Grand Prix is presented to you by James, Ethan Bishop, and Miro Soresnia.
Welcome along here, everybody, to France, here at Circuit Magny-Cours-Nevers, host of round 6 for MMS's highly intense so far, season 1. The circuit, originally built in the 1960s, is 4.4 kilometers long and features 17 corners in total. This circuit took over the French Grand Prix spot from the circuit Paul Ricard in 1991, all the way up until 2008, when the circuit was booted off the calendar for the following year. The circuit combines ample elevation with long winding corners and very famous unforgiving curbs. Very big and long. We may see a lot of action on those if drivers get too greedy going through corners. The circuit has hosted its fair share of memorable moments, such as David Coulthard flipping off Michael Schumacher in 2000. I'm happy with the Germans' aggressive defending. But Schumacher would win the race himself 4 years later in 2004, winning the race from Fernando Alonso by pitting 4 times compared to Alonso's 2. Somehow, Ferrari came out on top. This race was also famous for Rubens Barrichello snagging a podium off Jarno Trulli with 2 corners to go. Of course, as I'm sure we all know, yesterday was the 31st of August 2019. That has become a dark day in motorsport history. On lap 2 of the Formula 2 feature race at Spa, we saw a crash which took the life of Anthoine Hubert. He was just 22 years old. So please, throughout this day and this week, will you please take a moment of silence to remember this French, young, vibrant, brilliant man who died doing what he loved. Thank you.
With that done, let's get to the grid order. On pole position we have Thomas McHugh, who did a great job in qualifying, setting his McLaren on the pole for the 3rd time this season. Absolutely blistering pace the Irishman has. Behind him, joining him on row 1 is Sam Stoppard, finally having good qualifying pace. Then the rest of it, we had Alex Dugood. Again, he's in the top 5 in qualifying, but will he do good in the race? Helio Silva is P4, great job from the Jordan driver. Mark Utter is P5 as well, good job. Then we have Smith in P6, Grad in P7, Vanek P8, Curtis P9, Giotto P10, P11 is Kivusek, P12 is Kubiankowski. Disappointing qualifying from the Ferrari driver, but he probably can manage to get in the Ferrari in the points as we go in the race. P13 is Carriver, P14 is Shepard, P15 is Sage. Amazing qualifying pace from both of the Minardis. P16 is Rodney Rack, is the replacement of O'Hara, who got excluded from the championship after some nasty comments. P17 is Martins, P18 is Jones, P19 is Fasher, P20 is Carrigal, P21 is Jack Agnes, and P22 is John Voda, who rounds off the grid. With all that done, let's go to the 5.
Let's get going then.
The lights are coming on, there we go.
Here come the
4
lights,
red lights.
and they are out. We're underway.
Lights out and away we go.
And we are go. Very good start from the man from second. Stoppard's already taken the lead. McHugh's had an absolutely terrible start. McLaren have kept up their streaks of having absolutely shockers off the line. He's going around the outside of turn 2 though, and he retakes the lead.
But look at Helio Silva.
And look at Helio Silva from 5th place on the grid, now challenging for 2nd in the Jordan. Silva on Stoppard on McHugh here. If he can get that move done, they're all going side by side into this very tight head where they've got to be careful. Anyone going to hit each other? Yes, there's contact between, was that the Arrows and the Benetton, I think it was.
I think there was contact between the Ferrari of Kubi and the Minardi.
On Litoris holds
there's the yellow flag. Oh, that's because of my car, okay.
Okay. Look at Chauffeur trying to go around the outside of Giotto. Chauffeur in the Minardi. Chauffeur takes 12th place.
So the Sage is 11th.
Sage is 11th. The Minardi's 11th and 12th on the grid so far. They've both moved up. From
there's a massive incident.
That's Giotto. Giotto. And he's going to rejoin the track.
God.
And he's slammed into one of the Benettons. Another front wing goes astray. And I think that was Carivo going off the circuit.
What happened there? Richard Giotto, pretty good start from the Jaguar driver. But he dropped down there's contact with... and that's Cubio.
And he's hit Hubert. Hubert has lost his front wing. The championship leader has lost
So here,
wing.
coming into this very fast chicane, you have to really care about the braking. And here, he just stabs the rear wheel of Schaeffer, unsafe rejoin from the Aussie, and he slams into the back of into the front of Hubert, I should say.
Hubert
Very
will have to
unlucky.
pit now. He'll have to change his strategy, and I think it was also Caravo being hit off by Chauffeur on the rejoin. You see it from Jankowski's view. Really, not much he could have done. For once,
And
we're
then,
not really pointing the finger at him. And then this rejoin from the Jaguar was not very intelligent. Right
so
into
that's
the path.
Richard Giotto under investigation, I think.
That was right into the path of one of the Saubers, and there's pandemonium as some drivers are trying to come into the pits, but they can't. And Tuga's lost his front wing.
Why? What happened? Both Ferraris, we missed it.
Are in the
Oh,
pits.
it's McHugh as well.
They started third. Look at Helio Silva, who's taking the lead while we
So
were
what happened
here
here?
at the back.
I think Silva round the outside, McHugh too opportunistic in there, hits the rear wheel of Stoppard right now, and then
Stopped up, and then McHugh will have had the reflected that, of course. So
yeah,
both Ferraris front wingless at the end of lap 1, both having to pit for repairs. What an absolute disaster for them. They've seemed pretty unstoppable, particularly QBO this season, but that is a major blow. They're going to be right down at the back now. They're going to need some pace to get back into this, which I'm sure they have.
James, can you get a bit close to the microphone, please?
Get a bit closer, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Look at the Minardis, both of them in points.
The Minardis are both in the points.
That's amazing.
Fantastic. Isaac Fisio going side by side with the Sauber of Caravo, the only French driver on the grid. Here into this flat out chicane. Fisio will have held it momentarily, but now Caravo's got the inside with this long left-hander. But he doesn't seem to be able to put it off. Fisio gets great drive out of the corner, and Fisio holds on to the place, and now here comes the BAR on Fisio. Now uphill chicane and into this long right-hander. It's very awkward because you have to brake and then it really opens itself up, so it's very easy to misjudge this corner, but they all get through there cleanly. And now the final couple of corners.
Well, look how close Rakus is in here. Obviously,
it all looks pretty clean, yeah. Yeah,
Rakus obviously debuting in MMS after having a bit of a... After O'Hara did some not nice comments and the FIA decided to award him with a bye-bye from the sport.
Yep.
And at the moment, Silva lost the lead. At the moment, Raku's not really on pace, but I don't blame him. It's his debut.
So McHugh's retaken the lead, and Graydon's got past Smith as well. It's all kicking off here, and Smith trying to get past Helio Silva. This would make a McLaren 1-2, and he's pulled it off. McLaren having started first and sixth, and now first and second, and more importantly for them, no Ferrari in sight, and there's Stofford launching his car up the inside. Here comes Graydon. I try to get past his teammate. Look at the Jaguar though. Look at the Jaguar trying to get back past the Williams. Is that Kubisak? I think it is.
Yes, it is.
Trying to get back past. Oh, Helio Silva clearly doesn't have the. He does not seem to have the pace, and now the McLarens need to use this opportunity to bolt away. We know they have pace at every race we go to, but for some reason or another, it never goes well. And here comes Littoris now trying to overtake Sage, but he bottles himself up to the inside, hits the side of the Minardi, and Sage is going to retake the place as you're on board now with Chauffeur trying to get past Valyak. This is for 8th position. Now, who would have thought to see two Minardis running in the top 10 in any race, let alone a race which is so straight 8-line speed friendly? And now here we go. Here comes Chauffeur up the inside of Valyak into the Hep in the tightest corner on the circuit. He's pulled it off. The Minardi into 8th place.
I think what we're seeing here is that Minardi has some great straight line speed, and they're using it to their advantage. Or maybe it's the fundamental engine, which I don't really think is the case, but you never know. In the world of motorsport, everything can, just play out differently on different circuits. Meanwhile, Helio Silva, he definitely has qualifying pace, which he has proved in the last few races, but during the race, the Jordan car seems to just die off lap by lap, which is never good. Meanwhile, there is Gran running outside of his teammate. Oh, there's contact.
We saw that on the previous lap with Littoris and Sage. We saw it. You can get very easily on that curb on the inside, and it's very slippery when you put a wheel on there. It's like driving on in the wet. Look at Chauffeur now lining up a move on Kubasek. Now, I believe Minardi runs a Ferrari hinged in the back of their cars. Seems to be working a treat here. He's in the slipstream. Does Kubasek defend the inside?
Oh,
No,
three wide.
they're going 3 abreast on the grasses. Valyak, he's going to overtake the pair of them if he can get drive out of the corner.
No,
But
Chauffeur
Chauffeur's
is
got the best
quicker.
drive and the best straight line speed as well. But he's on the outside for this awkward next corner, and there's no contact. And I think Chauffeur will have that one
No,
done. He's a
Valyak has the
car
outside.
ahead.
He has the outside now.
Valyak drives him around the outside. Valyak picks up 2 places in one go there. Very good driving from him, and now Kubasek's under pressure from Latoris and the BAR, who's now up the inside. Kubasek loses another place. No, he doesn't.
Oh, contact. Oh, Fasher. Come on, mate. Not
Shaw
now.
rams into him, lucky to have his front wing still intact. Caravo, the Frenchman, making a move on stage, and he makes it.
Cargo is Portuguese.
Sorry, Carragher, not Caravo.
And Fasher still punting into the car of
And they go
Kubusek.
here they go 3 wide down the straight. So here's for sure, you have Kubasek on the inside, and then the BAR takes the corner. Normally, we've already seen Fasura launch into the catch fence once this season. I'm sure he'll do it again. But he's looking racy, and then he sends one up the inside here. More contact. And now they're 3 abreast coming out of the corner. Look at Carragher. They're all single fouled out slightly, but Carragher looks very close to the back of the Benetton.
Meanwhile, Raku's up into P13. Olivia Zage seems to have some issues with the car, as on the radio she's saying something is wrong. I don't know
The only
what, but
female
something
driver on
is
the
wrong.
grid is having problems. Look at Voda now, started dead last. He's made up 6 places so far, and Voda sends it up the inside, and Voda takes another position, as does the other Benetton. So real problems for Olivia Sacher compared to her team. And look at Latoris. Latoris is going to take 2 cars in one corner up the inside of both Chauffeur and Valyak.
Unbelievable.
Valyak's got a good drive though, but not good enough. Latoris has gained 2 places in one corner there. Astonishing job from him. Look at the Minardi of Chauffeur now trying to get past. We've got this massive train here, and up the inside goes Chauffeur back past Mihail Valyak. This is the positions here fluctuating a lot, and you don't know if someone's going to hold it for a lap or 2 laps. Carragher now making a move. This is all kicking off in the midfield, and all the while no Ferraris to be seen, although I'm sure they will be on the back of these guys in no time. With the amount they're battling each other. Look at Rakus now, the debutant, coming around the outside at turn 2. Fantastic stuff, and now Valyak is in trouble of losing yet another place.
Meanwhile, there is Isaac Fasher on the back of Kubusek, the Polish drop it in.
Fasher on the back of Kubasek.
And
he goes down the inside of Kubasek, and for sure takes another place. He's now up into 9th place. So that's another one close to the top 8. And look at Smith under pressure. Smith is under pressure from Graydon and Silver. I said Silver's pace wasn't that good. I'm clearly kind of wrong here, because he's right on the back of him. The McLarens again not pulling away. Graydon seems to have got the better of his teammate for now. Silver slotting in behind for now. Smith's actually not too far away from his teammate. So both McLarens are struggling with tyre wear. They've put too much fuel in, we don't know. As they accelerate down the start-finish straight.
Fastest lap set by Aaron Curtis now with the fastest lap of the race.
Aaron Curtis takes the fastest lap, yeah.
So I believe Jordan has finally found their pace in case.
Look at how close Smith was at the exit of that corner. Look how close he is here. He's closer than he's ever been to his teammate. Does he fancy a lunge? Does he want to go for it? No, he sits in behind, I think, rather smartly. They are teammates after all. McHugh's bogged down on the exit, though. He's going to draw his car up alongside. McHugh now has to leave him space. Going into the next chicane, McHugh around the outside. McHugh holds the place, although Smith is on this outside line. Look at Graydon though. Graydon out the inside, but Smith's got this fancied outside line we've been seeing all day, and he's going to hold on to that place. And not only that, Silver's now lining a move up. It's constant action here at Magny-Cours.
Again, we suspected that this race will deliver, and it is delivering amazing action.
Oh yeah, this turn 13 here, it's very it's running turn 13, turn 10, they're running us a lot of action.
Meanwhile, down the
Meanwhile, the
order,
Ferraris
Giotto.
all the way down at the back.
Meanwhile, ooh, there is some action. Silva and Gradin still fighting.
Have a look at this, the Jordan looking racy here. You see the Benson and Hedges sponsor on the front of the car. Biggest sponsor on the car, but look at the Jordan bogs down on the exit green and gets an amazing exit out of the corner. And look at him now, he's right on the rear wing of the McLaren. We know the McLarens are godly in a straight line, but when the slipstream like this, there's not much you can do. But Graydon's sensible here.
Oh, Gradin a
He's
bit
in a good spot in
wide.
the championship, but goes wide, and so did McHugh, and again we're going to see the McLarens go close into turn, I believe it's turn 7. I'll have to check.
Meanwhile, Smith seriously close to McHugh. As much as
It
he
could come down
respects
to the
his
pit stops
teammate,
as well. It's
Yeah.
that close.
Smith
Here we go.
obviously.
You don't often see a pass into this uphill chicane here at turns 11 and 12. Now into turn 13. Hard braking zone, but as soon as you're done with that, it's just flat.
What I think is happening
on
is
the exit.
Smith respects his teammate very well, and he doesn't want to give any damage to his teammate, but he wants to make a pass. Oh, but he makes a mistake and now Gradin.
Oh, he's been hit. I think he got hit there by Graydon.
I don't think.
I'm pretty sure he may have got a ram or he may have gone on the curb. We'll have to see again. He's on board with Graydon. We'll see a great POV here. He's right up alongside McHugh. I guess he just gets in the dirty air here. His cars will lose a little bit of downforce when they get too close, and of course the closer they go, the worse it gets. And he was hit by Graydon twice.
But I mean, it's not like Graydon had anywhere to go.
But it's not like Graydon punted him into a spin. He just kind of Smith was already coming sort of into a half spin.
But still, Smith.
Turn 2
That's
we
a
go.
good exit. Look how close he already is to Gradin. That's gonna be a move from Luxembourg.
He's thinking of pulling out already. He's in the slipstream. We've seen so many. He's already pulled out of the slipstream down the inside of Graydon and overtakes the Williams driver quite comfortably, I'd say. Graydon will try and fight back, but he's just not close enough.
Obviously,
now he has to catch back up to his teammate,
with both
who
of
was
the
left from start to finish.
with both of the Ferraris out of this race virtually, they obviously will lose points, and that will help McLaren and Williams to pull away from them. As Ferrari at the moment is third in the constructors' standings, so you know, a 1-2 for McLaren I think will even give them the lead from and overtaking Williams.
McHugh's really struggling to pull away. He's already been caught by his teammate. The deficit was like a second as they came out of the turn 6 hairpin. It's now a 10th. As this time Smith gets a good exit out of the corner. He's in the slipstream. It's a rather short start finish straight before we go into the flat out left-hander here. Turn 1, then turn 2 and turn 3 up the hill now. This is a brilliantly flat out corner. Now onto the curb, and Smith is right there with him. This is going to be surely a pass for the lead. Smith, he doesn't pull out of the slipstream just yet, but I'm sure he will. He does pull out of the slipstream. He goes on the inside. They have a bit of a touch, but Smith gets past his teammate. And for the first time this race, the man who started 6th now leads this race. And more crucially for the championship, is ahead of his teammate.
Yeah.
Now let's see if he can do what his teammate couldn't and pull away. Look at McHugh going back up the inside.
Ooh, contact.
Oh, they've hit each other. That was a hard hit from the pair of them. Smith ramming into McHugh as he struggled for traction midway through the corner. I think Smith will hold on to that. And the Jordan and the Williams going tight next to them. Silva has gone past Gradin, and look now, Stopford has
but
caught
Silva
up
around
to
the
these
outside.
guys. McHugh goes around the outside, Silva goes around the outside, Graydon goes around the outside. Smith's going to lose 3 places there at turn 13, bogged down on the inside.
Smith now makes another mistake. It's all going
He's
down
down to
for James
5th, he's
Smith.
dropping down, he's dropping down the order. It's just like Hockenheim at the start. He went from 2nd down to 6th. It's happening again. Not Hockenheim, sorry, the Nürburgring. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, no problem. Meanwhile, Gradin's still gonna chase down another car who he sees ahead and telling
One
Silva.
bad run though, and you can see what it does. It gets the driver paranoid about losing places, and when they're paranoid, they're not at their best. And Graydon now takes 2nd place back from Silva. But look what this has allowed. Okay, Smith's back up the inside of Stopford. He's already going back.
And they're side by side into the very flat out chicane.
I'm sure he'll have this one. Stopford slightly inched ahead, but I think Smith now on the outside. We've seen this is the preferred line all throughout the day, and Smith is going to just drive around the outside of Stopford, and Curtis may do the same here.
Yeah, Curtis gets the position actually. Will he?
He's on the inside for
Ooh, they
now. They
touch.
touch. Stopford holds it on the inside, but then backs out of it.
Yeah, Stofford
Quite
after
sensibly.
starting P2, not the best race for him.
We are on lap 12. We're not even half distance yet. Looking
Yeah.
towards the rear end of the points now,
And the Minardis have dropped out of
I
points.
do hate to say the Minardis have dropped out of the points.
I mean, it's quite obvious when you consider what team they are, but still, they qualified P14 and 15, and they did a pretty decent job at the start of the race, and I think that's
They are
what counts
battling each
more.
other. There's clearly some rivalry in the teams. Sage trying to outdrive Chauffeur on the exit, but Chauffeur pulls off the overtake.
And now Giotto tries to unlap himself on the Liberty stage. Will that work? Yes, it will.
And he does.
Not
Sage
too
follows
good.
herself up.
Already caught up.
Too good's already caught up to these guys.
Jankowski as well.
Jankowski not too far behind.
Meanwhile,
Jankowski
Gradin.
seems to thrive. Jankowski seems to thrive the most in packed and congested areas, because then he pulls off some very aggressive overtakes, holds everyone up, and then
Yeah, I mean
got the
Jankowski,
gap.
this whole season he has been showing that he isn't afraid to, you know, lose some bodywork just to make the
your
move.
race winner at the Nürburgring is threatening McHugh here for the lead. Meanwhile, Silver's still holding on to third, but for how much longer?
Well, that's how long it took.
Not much longer at all, because Smith overtakes at turn 13, and
And
McHugh
Gradin on the
now.
outside.
Gradin
He's
trying to go around the
he
outside,
forces the mistake on
he
McHugh.
tries to force his rival onto the inside and does, and as we say, that Silver is forced onto the curb by Aaron Curtis, who's now taken third place, and Silver drops down to fifth behind Stopford.
The
And
Jordans.
I will say this now, the top six is only 3 teams.
Yeah, I mean the top 6 at the beginning of the season was only 3 teams as well, but now it's kind of changed.
So McLaren have a double podium again, and you just can't pull away on this track, it seems, as McHugh makes a mistake and runs wide.
Meanwhile, Silva
look at
loses
now.
another position.
Look at Latoris, who's got past Silver, so these guys are backing themselves down into the midfield, maybe just Latoris, but they're backing themselves down. I think that's Rack who's in 9th place, sorry, not 9th place, 8th place, but there goes Silver back up the inside of Latoris of the BAR. He does overtake.
Doesn't use the advantage of the outside for that corner, and that's a big mistake to do on this track.
Jordan back into 6th, yeah, he's going to have to now try and pass him all over again, quite audaciously, if he wants to do it through here.
Meanwhile, Thomas McHugh, the pole sitter, 3rd time this season, he's trying to still have a win.
He's never won from pole. No driver has this season, I believe.
Yeah, nobody has won from pole this season. Maybe McHugh will be the first one to do so. We really can't know at this stage.
He's catching him, but you just can't pass at turn 3. It's way too risky. It's way too dangerous in terms of your race, not so much in terms of the safety of the drivers. Here comes McHugh though in the slipstream. He's really in the Williams rapidly now. He's caught him as they go under the bridge and past the Toyota Bannisters, and McHugh has taken the lead into the hairpin.
And Gradin lost a lot of time because McHugh parked the bus on the exit, and now Smith.
Yeah, McHugh bottled him up.
Very close to the Williams.
Here we go
as well.
into the chicane. They both ride the curb, but they're both safe for now. Does Smith fancy moving on the inside or the outside? No, he just tucks in nicely behind. You can see Stopford just behind those guys in 4th place.
I think he's going to make a move into turn 13 or 14.
No, he's catching, not into this chicane. You can't overtake here, but turn 13, if the car ahead makes a mistake, it's very much a possibility. McHugh really struggling though. It's as if Dirty Air is slipstream here, and when you have no one in front, you get Dirty Air instead, because you just cannot pull away.
Into the last corner, we see some incidents here, and Smith bumps into Gradin, what doesn't
Smith,
he
does bump him, he loses a little bit of time, and now Stopford's going to be in the slipstream, but it's not going to be enough.
The whole top 6 is very close. Look at that.
And don't count out Latoris either, unless he's pitted.
Yeah. Silva, I think, letting off the gas a bit, trying to save
Look
some
at
fuel
Stopford.
out.
Stopford's really in a good slipstream here. We've never seen a driver defend the inside yet. Going into this hairpin, is Smith going to be the first? No! Up the inside goes Stopford, trying to make it a double Williams podium.
Oh, it doesn't work.
Does so momentarily.
Oh, there's a front wing.
Is that a front wing on the floor?
Yes, there's a front wing on the floor. And that's Isaac Fischer.
Fischer's lost his front wing somewhere.
Oh,
he's hit his teammate. The Benettons have got too close together. Let's have a look with Martins. Oh, he's rammed him.
Yeah,
and Martins has just lost his rear wing.
mindless move. Brainless. He just goes for
Also,
it.
the stewards have decided, okay, this is going to be under investigation, and Giotto receives another 10-second after race time penalty.
Oh, that's going to be a race ban.
I believe that's his 3rd of the season, which is a race ban. needs to calm down, and I'm sure for sure not only will have some heads.
Oh,
Sage did well not to hit for sure though. I'm sure for sure we'll have the guys in the garage thinking, oh god,
too
it's
good.
happened again.
Too good. Alex, too good.
That's too
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, that's a big incident.
Is this with Martins? Martins coming back on the track and Too Good has ramped over him. And Martins has not had a very nice ride either. That is a huge crash. Oh!
Oh, that nearly missed his head. Oh, Jesus.
That could have hit his head.
That, luckily it didn't, but oh my god.
I wouldn't be surprised if Martins now has a broken hand. He doesn't flip over, but my god, when is Too Good going to catch a break?
And another, it's the second time he's been taken out this race. And obviously he's going slowly, you know, locks up and and he flips Jones.
And he's flipped Jones, and that's going to be under investigation. Now he's not getting points.
Oh my god, what
It's
a crazy
all gone
race.
wrong. The Ferrari mechanics are very busy at work, not just in repairing cars, but in shaking their heads in disappointment.
But at least they're gonna get paid more, so I guess there are some benefits there.
Anyway, the two Williams still holding on to the podiums, pulling away now. He's at a sign of the tyre wire. McHugh seems to actually be able to have held a lead for more than a lap.
Meanwhile, McHugh's still holding off both of the BMW.
As I say that though, Graydon is all over him.
And now
any drivers thinking of pitting on this lap? Not yet. Graydon going through turns 1 and 2, now into turn 3. He's right up behind him now, taking a nice high line. He's going to ride onto the curb here.
He lost time.
But he's going to tuck into the slipstream here. He has lost time, but he's still pretty damn close to him. Stopford also might think of a move. In fact, I think it will be Stopford to make a move. If anyone,
nobody makes a move.
No one makes a move. They all
Graydon
file through nicely. Graydon's run wide. He's compromised his teammate, and that might allow Smith a run. But you think he's
You know, Rakus has gone up to his teammate. We may see a top 8 battle very soon.
BARs look quick, and I must say this seems to all be about the car, because in the top 8 we only have 4 teams.
Yeah.
It does seem to be all about the vehicle here at Magny-Cours.
Graydon tries to make a move. He has to dog out of it though. Stofford makes a mistake and into turn 13. Will Smith fancy a move? No, he doesn't. Down the order, nobody makes a move as well.
Two Jordans looking very close. Look how closely packed these guys are between first and
Graydon
fourth.
will take the inside.
And
No, Stofford on the outside. Graydon makes a mistake.
Front wing! Was that a front wing? No, I thought I saw the front wing dislodged there. Graydon's lost. Yeah, I thought I saw it. Graydon's lost a place, and I'm amazed that Smith didn't get past there. I guess he was compromised as well.
Curtis down to
Torres is up into 5th place for PAR. Not only that, 6th place, sorry, and his teammate Rakus on his debut is in 8th place. I'm sure the guys at BAR will be very impressed with that. Although this is not finished yet for Torres yet, because here comes Aaron Curtis back up the inside of the Jordan and overtakes riding that curve.
And there is Rakus
on the inside, and there goes Rakus.
There's another front wing on the track. And that's from John Voda.
Was this John Voda's front wing? And John Voda been making good progress in the Prost. And I think he may have just got a bit too close to his teammate here. This is Prost's home Grand Prix, and
he just rams him, but he punished himself.
I don't think there's any need to punish him there with penalty points or anything. That is entirely his own fault, and it's entirely him who comes out with the consequences of it.
Meanwhile, Stofford still trying to overtake McHugh, still chasing him down.
If you'd asked me at the start of the season, do you think Williams would consistently be fighting for wins? I'd said, maybe the occasional race, but every race they're up there getting poles and podiums, and always there in the fight for a win. And now here comes Stopford up McHugh.
Oh, that's very brave from the Brit.
That's very cheeky. That's brilliant stuff. That's Mark Webber at Career 2013-esque. In a long, windy corner like that, taking the second with more speed to get up alongside, and by that time the driver in front. Look at this. This is very good strategic play, because as soon as you get up alongside, the driver cannot take his normal line. He takes more speed through this corner, sets himself up on the inside, and McHugh could do nothing. As soon as McHugh put himself in that position, there was nothing he could do.
This race,
brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff.
Brilliant. We just have a galore of beautiful overtakes and beautiful racing.
Now look at Smith now, or the Graydon. Look how close he is.
Yeah, both of them. It's like we have small packs of drivers.
These two have battled each other all race long,
and contact.
Smith hits him. He's hit him, and they've bobbled each other up on the outside. Smith pushes him wide. That's like Schumacher on Coulthard in 2000. We know how that went.
Yeah, he flipped him off.
McHugh almost hits the back of Stopford, and look how much Smith just caught them there.
Yeah, I think James Smith finally is finding his
On
pace
lap
this
19
season.
of 27, as he finally found his groove.
9
as
laps to go.
I'm getting a sore throat here, there's so much to report.
Yeah, I mean, grab a glass of water or something, because we are just starting this.
Stopford is on the inside. McHugh, does he do what Stopford did to him the last lap? No, he can't. Stopford has defended
get a bit
the
closer.
line well enough. Smith's going around the outside of his teammate.
McHugh loses it.
Huge slide.
Yeah, James, get a
And
bit closer to the microphone. We're losing you.
He's had a huge slide. He might not. Okay, he's held on to place just for now, but it looked like Graydon was going to get back past him and make it a Williams Dole podium again.
Meanwhile, look how bunched up this pack is right now.
Here comes Graydon. He's going on McHugh. He's gaining on McHugh. He's going down the inside on Thomas McHugh here for third place. And McHugh's been forced out wide, and he might lose a place to the Jordans
and now Silva side by side with his teammate Curtis. This is great battling.
Here comes Curtis. He's not close enough. Silva took more speed through there.
Rack is not inside of Curtis though.
Look at Rack, the debut to up into 6th place in the BAR. What a debut he's having. He started well down the order in what, 16th place or something.
Yeah,
but
16.
Look how well he's made his way through the order. It's fantastic stuff from him.
I mean, Rackus is definitely one of the new young guns that will surely show their pace.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, look how's that.
Now. Here comes Smith around the outside of Stopford. He's done it.
And now Graydon and Smith. Meanwhile, pit stop window.
Stopford dropping back and back and back. Stopford down to 4th, having led going into that corner. He's now 4th as they come out the exit into the next one. Unbelievable stuff. And I believe some drivers. Did I see someone pitting?
Yeah, Samuel Graydon pitting this lap.
Samuel Graydon is going for an undercut here. Here comes Stopford to try and get a place back. McHugh's losing a place. Both Williams making moves up the inside into the hairpin. I think Stopford's was much less successful than Graydon's. Graydon pitting this lap will give everything he's got on these tyres. Graydon takes the lead of the race. Stopford gets past McHugh. The McLarens losing places to the Williams, almost in synchronization with each other.
Silva is pitting as well.
The pit window is very much open here on lap 21 of 27.
Is pitting as well.
Jankowski, yeah, I didn't think he'd make it to the end. He's making a move up the inside though.
Sure looks up. Martins is the last car, but yeah, Graydon in the lead. He's not.
So Graydon pits. Stopford does not pit.
Yellow flag.
Ignore the yellow flag. That's just for the pit entrance.
And there he goes.
Graydon in the pits. Anyone else follow him in?
Yeah, but it's only the cars from the mid pack and Helio Silva.
Well, Silva's in the pits as well. Silva's been dropping back a little bit if the gap is that big.
7.1.
That is a good pit stop from the Williams boys.
That is a blistering pit stop.
We've seen McLaren have not had good pit stops this season. They've been like Silva's right now, 13 seconds. That's been probably the average McLaren pit stop this season.
My goodness gracious, Stopford's been
Williams have done everything they can, and now Stopford is making a move on Smith. It's a stop-start thing. The front wing is almost gone on the front, at the front of that car, on the McLaren.
Speaking of McLaren, they scored 4 pole positions this season. I mean,
more than any other team, and they've also the only team to have a front row lockout, but they've not really been winning races. They've won 1 race this season.
Tell me, how are they not the championship leaders? Seriously, this championship is just flipped on its head at the moment. Stopford pits.
Alright, Stopford comes into the pits. Let's see his pit stop. Oh, he's had a poor entry. McHugh's entry was even worse.
This is
Stopford into the pits. The timer starts as the crew services him, gives him new tyres, maybe a bit of fuel if he needs it. Raku's pits, Kubicek pit.
Oh, it's a longer pit stop. I think it's a mistake.
Longer. You might have to wait. He had to wait for Valyak there, 9.6 seconds, but he's ahead of McHugh. McHugh is having an absolute shocker. It's another 16-second
both
pit
of the
stop.
BARs jumped him.
He's lost out to both BARs. This is unbelievable. McLaren have to sort their stuff out in the pit lane.
Curtis and Smith pitting this lap. They've gone the longer game. Look at the indicator. They are seriously on the low fuel loads.
Has he run out of fuel? Sorry, he looked a little bit slow going through there. Did he run out of
He's,
fuel, maybe?
no, he's like, you
They're,
know, lifting and coasting at
they're
this
tight.
stage.
They're tight. They're very close. He'll have less. He can run less for the next part of the race, but for now, you're on board with him here. He's coming to lap Alex Tugan, and I think that sums up the poor guy's season. To be honest.
Yeah, only 13 points this
All right,
season.
into the pits comes the McLaren, the final McLaren to make a pit stop. That looked okay. Coming into the pits
But
now.
will
He's
the
going
pit
to give it a
stop
new
will be
check on the
okay?
fuel. How is the pit stop? His average. We saw in Germany in the race lead, he had a pit stop of 16 seconds.
Oh, Chev has been hit.
Chauffeur's had a 32-second pit stop.
Oh,
Oh
Olivia
my
Z. Oh,
goodness!
there's
I
been a
do
crash.
not believe it. I do not believe what I'm seeing.
Oh.
Sage has had a. Oh.
Zage was serviced here.
Sage probably stalled in the pit lane. And Chauffeur was going inside by side. Chauffeur had no way of avoiding it.
Oh,
and then they hit each other again.
Both of them in RDs.
Unbelievable.
Tragedy. Curtis.
Smith. Curtis has a. They're
Smith.
going for 10 seconds, 12 seconds.
Curtis
is away
him.
before. You can't write this. The McLarens just can't do pit stops. He's going to lose the place to Rakus now. He's into 4th place. Curtis rejoins on the podium for
And
Jordan.
It's
and it's a Williams 1-2.
It's another Williams on 2. I think it's going to be the second one this season.
Rakus is 4th. Smith is 5th. McHugh is 7th.
Silver 8th, but how can they mess up the pits so bad?
This is ridiculous now. You're allowed a 1 or 2 one-offs, but not every single race. You can't be like Haas at Australia.
I think someone is getting fired today.
Oh, yeah. Oof, that's rough. They've got a few laps left. Smith's got less. Smith will have the freshest tire. Smith and Curtis have the freshest tires. They've got the least amount of fuel. Top, although everyone probably have the same amount regardless. So they've got now got a bolt.
He's catching Graden like hell. He's just going for
Oh
it.
yeah. He's got fresher tires. Remember.
I mean, both of the Sams in the Williams team, they don't have the best chemistry. Obviously, Samuel Graden, the aggressive driver.
Oh, they've hit each other so many times this season.
Sam is a bit aggressive too, but not as aggressive as Graden.
May I add though that Smith is close? Okay, he is closing in on Rakus. That was 6/10 in sector 2, and now he's just lost it all.
Yeah.
So I presume he made a mistake there.
But yeah,
Rakus
stop third.
Gap.
It's only 6/10. It was 1.4 seconds the previous lap through this section.
There are 3 laps to go here in this thrilling race at Magny-Cours. Here comes Stockford. He's thinking of an into the hairpin upgrading, but he's way too far back. Rakus makes a little bit of a correction under braking.
Silver is close to McHugh. Silver and McHugh both
might
messed
yet
up.
get worse for McLaren. They both have pretty poor runs. Valyak, meanwhile, is running quite nicely in 9th place. Look at these Williams boys now. Stopford is catching Graden here. This is very exciting stuff. He might take the lead. With 2 and a bit laps to go, Mihail Valyak has the fastest lap of the race in the Sauber.
1.08. How
that
is
came
that
out of nowhere.
even possible? That's faster than the Polar. That man is flying.
If he gets a good drive next season, I'll tell you he's a championship contender without even thinking of it.
Yeah.
Stopford now, we don't see overtakes into turn 1. We've only been seeing them errors coming out of the last corner, and Graden did not make an error coming out of that last corner. Stopford now going through turn 2 and turn 3. We've seen it so many times before. He's going to just come through this corner, just hang it in there in the dirty air. He's going to tuck into the slipstream now underneath the Vodafone signs.
Yeah, look at the delta. He's gaining. It's
the delta, 3/10, 2.5 tenths. Is he thinking of a lunge into the hairpin? No, he's too far back. I would have gone for it, to be honest. He's only got 1 more lap after this to pull it off.
And pretty much
they are
only like
teammates,
what?
so if they hit each other, they are both going to have a serious talk with the team boss, I'm sure, if that does happen. But
yeah, James, commentators curse. It may happen.
I have just commentators curse them.
Oh god, it's the penultimate lap.
It is a thing. It is not a myth, it is a thing. We're on the penultimate lap here. We saw in 2004 Rubens Barrichello steal a podium away from a sleeping Jarno Trulli. At the corner these guys are coming up to just now.
I mean, we all
literally on the last lap, and that was pretty much the end for Trulli at Renault.
Formula 3 2019, the Austrian Grand Prix. Oh!
He's made a mistake. Graden's made a mistake. They're going to be side by side heading down the straight. Oh, this is fantastic.
Oh yeah, get a bit close. But come on, Sam, will you
Craig,
do
he's
it?
just there. Sam Stopford going out, trying to get around the outside of turn 3. You can't do that, son. You just can't. And now, Stopford in the slipstream of Graydon. He's so close.
I am
Look at how
literally,
close they are. We are on the edge of our seats here.
and he
He's
does it.
going down the inside. He's on the inside of his teammate, and
He's
Stopford
slowing
takes
him.
the lead.
Oh
It's not out
dearie
of the
me.
question though. There's still a little bit of this race left to go. Stopford makes a mistake at the hairpin, like we saw Graydon do, but on a more serious level. And look at Graydon, how much he's trying to gain time with the score. And look at
Curtis.
Curtis. Curtis might yet win this race. This is fantastic stuff. Look at Stopford and Graydon here. Graydon is all over the back of his teammate. Stopford can't pull the gap. A few more corners to go. Into sector 3 now, turn 13. This long right-hander,
Oh,
Stopford
look at
looking comfortable.
Curtis. They're all
Look at the
very
exit speed.
close.
So we got 3 corners to go. A double chicane to go, and Stopford is in the lead of the race. Graydon's not going to send one. He's too far back as they round the
And
final corner.
Stofford
Sam
wins.
Stopford. Sam Stopford is going to lead a Williams 1-2 and Magny-Cours.
Sam Stofford,
Brilliant
amazing
stuff.
drive. He
And
done
it's a
it on the
Williams
last lap.
1-2, the first team to get a 1-2 this season in a race, not in qualifying, that belongs to McLaren. And keep the applause going for Aaron
Aaron
Curtis in third
Curtis.
and Rakus in fourth place on his debut in the BAR, holding off the superior McLaren of Smith. Wow.
Litoris P6. McHugh P7.
BAR
Ryan
finishing fourth
P8.
and sixth.
Silver
And
P9.
no
Kubusek
Ferraris in
P10.
the points, not even close to it.
Caribou
Jankowski
11th. Not the best home
Kvyat
Grand Prix.
Jankowski is 12th, and I presume Alex Tugut is probably last after the incidents he was
Carrigal
having.
13th. Voda 14th. Agnes 15th. For sure 16th. Tugut 17th. Jones 18th. He still has to finish the lap.
Only Chauffeur 19th. He was running in as high as 7th place at one point. Run.
Yeah, then we have
Wow.
Scheffer, Martin, Zage, and Kyoto who finished dead last. Fastest lap of the race, Michal Valyak 1.8.772. That's a blistering lap if you ask me. But still, today's race winner is Sam Stopford.
So
Honestly,
Cubio's championship lead is drastically cut down as he fails to score points, but the McLarens didn't take advantage. It was instead the Williams guys who took a 1-2, not convincingly, but they did. Stopford with his first win of the season, leading home his teammate Graydon, who won in Germany, of course.
driver of the day,
Oh, I'd say Rodney Rakus started down
16th.
in what, 14th, 16th, somewhere around there, to get 4th place, hold off the charging McLaren behind him. Fair play to him.
Yeah, as well, Aaron Curtis P9, P3 in the Jordan.
Yeah, that's good
so,
as
yeah.
well. And he's ahead of his teammate convincingly,
Yeah.
who dropped back quite a lot, Helio Silva, having led the race.
Now,
But anyway,
the new award that we have created, the bad of the race.
the dirty driver of the race, if you want, and I
Yeah.
think there can only really be one winner of this.
I mean, no, we had few, you know, we have Giotto, we had
I wouldn't say
Fascia.
Giotto because he only had the one incident. I would probably say Too Good because a couple of incidents here.
Too good in the Benettons.
He flipped Jones going into the pit lane. God damn it! I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say Too Good, and I don't think Too Good's going to have a lot of fun with the stewards after the race either.
Oh no.
But
Yeah.
he does deserve a break. You gotta feel for him and for Ferrari this race.
I mean, at this
Both
rate,
Ferrari losing their front wings.
he might even be kicked out of the team very soon.
Yeah, I mean, anyway,
Yeah.
that race was for Anton Hubert. I hope that was not disappointing in any way. I think that was a pretty fantastic
That was
race.
the best race of the season we had so far.
Anyway, that's a wrap. Thank you all for watching and listening in, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Remember to be safe on the roads and wear your seatbelt. Bye.